Coming from the crossroads, this is the Rock Hour with TJZ, your Rock Ambassador. Good afternoon, everybody. How is everyone doing? All right, we had some few difficulties there. Actually, I think it was what you call user error. You are listening to Vaquero Radio here. Give me just a moment. You are listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. This is the Rock Hour with Z, and I am your Rock Ambassador, Z. Yes, we had some difficulty there. User error. As always, it was not the technology. It was the person using the technologies. Okay, anyway, here we go. It's 5:15 right now. Okay, we've got some music playing. All right, that music you just heard was Black Sabbath, the devil. No, that was Black Sabbath, Mob Rules. That was Dio Holy Diver, and that was Ozzy Osbourne's Miracle Man. Okay, well, some of the interesting tidbits for you there. That Black Sabbath song, Black Sabbath was formed way back in 1968 with Tony Iommi, Bill Wood, Geezer Butler, and, of course, Ozzy Osbourne. Back in 1979, Ozzy Osbourne was fired. Dio came in to take his place. Well, you know, they had this big long stint going. Dio went off later on to do his own thing. 97, they had a reunion, Black Sabbath did. But in 2000, 2009, there was this big lawsuit going on between Dio and Ozzy. I guess Dio, they were trying to figure out who could use the Black Sabbath's name. Well, later on, what happened is that Dio died in 16th of August of 2010, and, well, the legal battles ended. And, well, nobody quite knows what was settled there, but was settled there with Butler, and nobody quite knows what happened or what the outcome was. It's something that happened behind the scenes. So that's what happened there. And, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, we all know who he is, the Prince of Darkness. He came out later on and do his thing that he did. Well, it's 5:17 right now. I hope you're enjoying your drive home. Now we've got it's all worked out. The equipment's working just fine. Studio's working just fine. It's sunny outside. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your skirts. It is very windy outside. Drive safe on the expressway. There's lots of construction going on here in South Texas. Getting ready for spring break. I'm glad you're here listening to me. Taking a break from your studies. Driving home from work. Whatever it is you're doing, enjoy your favorite beverage as always. And, of course, tune in. I am your Rock Ambassador. We got some Led Zeppelin coming up, other music, and I will tell you some interesting tidbits about them as soon as we play their songs. Coming from the crossroads, this is the Rock Hour with TJZ, your Rock Ambassador. I am your Rock Ambassador, DJZ. It is now 17:30 for other civilians at 17:31 or 17:30. We bumped up a minute there. We just lost a minute right there. It is still 83 degrees outside. Still windy, still sunny. Wind's not letting up. It's still windy, still sunny. You are listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. Hope wherever it is you're going, you're driving safe. If you're taking a break from your schoolwork and your studies, go ahead and enjoy your favorite beverage and listen to this show. Okay, we had Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, and Bullet for My Valentine. Led Zeppelin, 1968 is when they were formed. It was Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and John Loudon. Okay, they were pretty much bands in the 70s, and they disbanded in 1980 after Bonham passed away. Well, they are credited, depending who you talk to. I could probably throw in a band that I would say is the father of metal. Of course, metal at that time was not around. That title didn't come around until probably late 70s, early 80s, somewhere around there. But lots of people do credit them with the start of heavy metal. I would say it's Black Sabbath, but others would say it's Led Zeppelin, and I could see why. You know, they did have a lot of popularity back in the time and not so much controversy, but yet the controversy is what made Black Sabbath at that time. So, we Guns N' Roses, formed in 1985 with Axl Rose / Izzy Stradler, Duff McKagan, and Steve Adler. You can still find Duff McKagan on radio today. He does his own radio show as well. You can find him through other outlets, but he's doing a show. They are, of course, heavy metal. Well, they weren't heavy metal. They were just rock and roll. 1993 was their last album where they were all together. Axl is the only member that's still around. 1998, I know they've had a few get-togethers with Slash and everybody else. Slash, when he left, well, he went out. He worked with several other people. Did some stints with Michael Jackson, of course, Velvet Revolver, and he's also worked with Miles Kennedy. Also have here that we played was Bullet for My Valentine. Interesting tidbits about them. That's a more modern band. For everybody that's a little younger, they were formed in 1998. I know we're playing all these classic songs. It might be a classic station, but we're covering all rock and roll. Old, current, new. We'll even go back to what was that? Robert Johnson's Crossroads, the Crossroads song. The ones that Cream did, that's a remake. We'll get that music. We'll play it for you here before the semester is out. Okay, but anyway, Bullet for My Valentine. They were a heavy metal band formed in 1998. They were formed under a name called Jeff Killed John. And they started their music career by covering songs by Metallica and Nirvana. We got some Nirvana coming up for you, those that like Nirvana. Got some Nirvana by request coming up by one of our fans here at the end of the hour. And let's see here, when they changed their name, they, Bullet for My Valentine, of course, they've been around for a while. Their last album they did was in 2018. That was their sixth studio album named Gravity. All right, with no further ado, we're going to get on here. We got some Rush coming up for you. Got some Rush. We got the Who. No, not the Who, but the Who, the Mongolian band. And we got some, let's see here, we got some Aerosmith coming up for you as well. That, of course, was Aerosmith. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing from the 1988 movie Armageddon with Steve Tyler, who was part of Aerosmith, had his daughter Liv Tyler, who was an actor, in that movie as well. Not only was his song in the movie, his daughter was in the movie. So, the interesting little tidbit there. Okay, we're coming up towards the top of the hour. Wow. Okay, well, let's see. What do we got here? We had Rush. We played Rush. Okay, a band formed in 1968 consisting of Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, Neil Peart, and there's pretty much just the three. They had a guitar, they had drums and vocals. Not bad. That's what bands were pretty much composed of back then. Of course, they were around until 1970. Wait, hold on. 1968. Yeah, they continued into the 1980s. They had a 4-year hiatus there for a while. I do believe. Let's see here. I'm looking. See, I wrote notes on this, and if you could read my handwriting, you can read hieroglyphics because I have here hieroglyphics in my hand. I've been writing the same way since the 3rd grade. Something to be said for consistency. But anyway, I know they had moved up to 4 band members. One of them left. He had problems. Let's see here. They had a 4-year hiatus. Let's see here. I'm looking to my notes here after, it was Peart's. He had I guess he had some things going on in his life then. I'm not too familiar with Rush, so this is information that I looked up for you. Yes, I'm one of those that doesn't like Rush. I know they're a very popular band and people just love them up and down. No, I'm not one of them though. But they had a 4-year hiatus, but they did come back here, continuing again with their 3 people that they have there to begin with. Okay, well, now that I've completely messed that up for you, if I were other talk show hosts here, I'd have half my brain tied behind my back. Fortunately here, I'm using my full brain and you see what you got. So I don't have a golden EIB microphone in front of me either. Okay, the next band we had was the Who. They are a Mongolian band. That being from Mongolia, well, of course, many of their songs are in another language. Their members, this is a band that was formed just recently. Not an old band for everybody new here. 2016 is when they were formed. Their members are, and I hope they're not listening right now because I don't want to chop up their names. Gala, Jaya, Inkush, and Timka. Those are the band members. They do play traditional Mongolian instruments. They do have a heavy metal feel to them, though, as you could hear. Let's see, those instruments being the, what's it called here, Morin, Kur, Tavshur. Okay, something like that. And they do Mongolian throat singing. I guess that's how they get their oh. So, and it's traditional, and the band calls their style of music Hunu rock, or Hunu rock. Hu is inspired by Hunu, an ancient Turkic Mongol empire, or just a ancient Turkic Mongol. I guess there was a empire there. Okay, and of course we had Aerosmith. Of course, Steve Tyler, Joe Perry, Tom Hamilton, Joey Bauer, and Brad Whitford. Okay, they've been playing. They were formed way back in 1970. They did play some of their songs here with Run DMC, Walk This Way. Run DMC in the 80s, back in 1986, very popular band. So they did a little stint together. This was, right after their comeback tour in 1984, and of course, 2013, Tyler and Perry. They were given what's it called? They were inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Okay, I'm going to play some Tom Petty for you, Nirvana, and if we can get it into this hour, AC/DC. I know I'm speeding things up here, but the technical difficulties at the beginning of the hour kind of took some of our time, and I know you want to listen to the music, which is why I'll tune in, and, well, hopefully you want to listen to me as well. I'm going to play you some Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They were formed in 1976. Of course, we all know that Tom Petty passed away not too long ago. Oh, boy, we're still missing him. But he was, in 2002, Tom Petty was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, the most famous man from there. He passed away in 1994. They were in a grunge alternative band all back in the 90s when all this was brand new. They were formed in 1987, and that's in 1987. They're from Aberdeen, Washington. In 2004, Rolling Stones put them in their 100 greatest artists of all time. And in 2014, they did get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And lastly, we're going to play for you some AC/DC, a band from 1973. Of course, we all know that Malcolm died in 2017, replaced by Stevie Young. And they are still going strong today. I know they have some albums out. Without any further ado, join us. I will not be here next week. I will be on spring break. But as we're going here, we're going to play these last three songs for you. Do have a good weekend and enjoy your spring break.